just washed the car too, god damn it. Ah, man. But welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great rest of your day, start to your day, whatever time it may be. Damn, I just washed the car. The weather's actually nice outside, which is good, man. It's been raining, it's been cold, it's been low-key depressing out here, just because I hate it when it's all gloomy. But we got sun, we got the warm weather back. Yes, sir. It's feeling like Texas again. But in this video, I kind of wanted to go ahead and share some information with you guys, because some people actually went ahead and did the testing that I was unable to do, because obviously I don't have a dyno and I also don't have the Ford Performance Intake Manifold. Now, if you guys are unaware, LAR, the site that I know a lot of us actually buy parts for our New Edge Mustangs, they actually did a dyno comparison of the dormant intake manifold, which I actually, believe it or not, have on the car right now, versus the PI intake manifold. Now, I originally was going to swap out my dormant intake manifold for a Ford Performance PI intake manifold, essentially just like the stock intake, but obviously revised with the coolants, so you're not going to be leaking coolant. They actually revised that and replaced the, you know, obviously the thermostat housing. It was plastic originally. Now with the PI intake, it's aluminum. I decided just to go ahead, considering the fact that the car is boosted, we are going to be going ahead and running a lot more boost with a bigger blower built motor. I just felt that it was better, you know, I'm getting into the left lane. I felt like it was a little bit better just to go ahead and upgrade to the Edelbrock Vic Jr. intake manifold, because it's essentially made for boosted cars. It's a lot safer to run a higher, you know, boost number with those intakes, because the whole intake, instead of plastic, is aluminum, so it's gonna theoretically protect it from blowing up, which, knock on plastic, the dormant intake on the car right now has been doing pretty damn good. Again, knock on plastic. I mean, we're pushing like 16 fucking pounds of boost with the dormant intake. It's a miracle that this thing is still together. But they actually did the dyno graph comparison, and the rumors were correct, man, because a lot of people were saying that when you actually run a dormant intake, this is pretty much NA, not even boosted. Who knows how much I'm losing boosted? You're losing around 25 horsepower peak performance. I'm actually gonna go ahead and throw the clip on the screen right now so you guys can take a look at it.
So with the dormant intake manifold, the car made 222.4 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 266.2 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 RPM. And then with the Ford intake manifold, the car made 241 horsepower at 4,900 RPM and 274 pound-feet of torque at 4,300 RPM. Heat gains were solid at 19 horsepower and 8 pound-feet. More importantly, the curve gains past 3,500 RPM were 25 plus horsepower and 23 plus pound-feet of torque.
But as you guys can tell, past 3,500 RPMs, you're gaining quite literally 20 plus horsepower. Now obviously, my car comes alive, really comes alive past 3,500 RPMs. And my car is like stock power under 3,500 RPMs. I hit boost at around like 39, 4,000 RPM. So imagine if I had just the stock PI intake manifold with boost, 16 pounds of boost. Who knows how much this car will be making? Who knows how it would actually perform under the curve? Because theoretically, peak horsepower doesn't really matter to me anymore. It used to. You know, obviously I feel like that's a number that, you know, everybody wants to say, hey, I made, you know, this amount on a dyno, you know, my car makes this amount of horsepower, blah, 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 whatever. Obviously, the power curve is what matters, because when you actually start running your car and you start, you know, going up against other cars that have similar or different power bands, you can really start to tell when your car comes alive, when their car comes alive, and then when your car actually does die. Now, I'm gonna be honest, with this dormant intake that's on the car right now, I can really tell past about 5,500 RPM when this car just starts to like kind of die out. I mean, it's not bad, to the point where like it's like, holy shit, it's irritating, because obviously we have boost going through the motor. But I can only imagine how different this car is going to feel with the Edelbrock Vic Jr. intake as opposed to this this dormant intake, because that Edelbrock Vic Jr. is going to be making more power at the higher RPM. So essentially it's just going to keep rising, as opposed to the band I have right now. It rises and then it just kind of immediately dies off, because whenever I'm going up against like a Coyote car or a car that has, you know, some type of upgraded intake manifold that I know of that's better than what is on that car stock, or, you know, obviously better than mine, which is, you know, pretty much every single car that I go up against, you can really tell at the higher RPMs when their car starts to pull, because these 2-valve motors, when you boost them, they make pretty damn good amount of torque. Like usually the 2-valve NA is going to make more torque than it does horsepower, bolt-on for bolt-on, right? And you could tell, because whenever I go up against cars, the initial hit, I always, more than not, am going to jump. But as the RPMs go up, as the speed goes up, you can kind of tell that the other car, depending on what they have done, will smooth pass. Like I said, depending on, you know, what modifications they have done. If it's an automatic car, if it's a manual car, a lot of things can happen. But you can tell the difference as both cars get into the power band. So if you guys have the dormant intake manifold on your car, I highly recommend after watching this video going to source out a Ford Performance PI, or going with some other manifold depending on the route your build, you know, is going. Because that video just kind of just solidified everything for me, because I was always kind of on edge, because I don't really like to believe rumors as far as the car stuff goes, because, you know, it's all dependent on setup. But theoretically, NA, if it's literally robbing 25 horsepower past 3,500 RPM, who knows what it's robbing on a boosted setup. And that's something that I cannot wait to go ahead and get rid of. And plus, we're going to be coupling this with E85. It's really going to wake up this 2-valve motor. And once we get a cam in the car with the new motor setup and everything, it's going to be a completely different animal. Honestly, I think this car with just the intake manifold, not even using E85, just the intake manifold, would make a astronomical difference. Because right now, just the way the car sits right now, I'd say the car is running pretty much how I'd say maybe a Catless E85 10-speed would run, or a full bolt-on Gen 2 car that's automatic would run. That's pretty much like kind of where I would go ahead and sit this car at, obviously depending on what they're tuned, but on average I'd say that's how this car is running right now. And I think with the intake manifold and with E85, I think this car would be able to match, like, no bullshit, I think this car will be able to match a fully bolted on 10 or 80 car. I think so, just based off the weight and just based off of the power band curve and how much peak horsepower it's making in the right RPMs under the curve. I think it can match a fully bolted on 10-speed car. Alright, sorry about that. There was like an event going on, so I had to go ahead and throw the GoPro off my head real quick. Man, this wind, every time I try to go out and record a video, the wind just starts getting crazy. It is what it is. Let me know down in the comment section what y'all think. What y'all think this car will be doing with the Edelbrock Vic Jr. and E85. The car is actually moving out pretty damn good the way it is right now. I'm actually really happy with it. Like I said in previous videos, I'm pretty satisfied. Actually, I'm over satisfied at what it's doing on the stock bottom end. I'm just kind of just having fun with it right now, just doing my thing, and just pretty much waiting for the time is right to get the other motor dropped in, which should be soon enough. Should be soon enough. But as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, also turn on those post notifications. Stay up to date with me on Instagram, because I kind of tease some things that's gonna be going on with the car over there first. So if you guys want to be up to date, be in the loop, make sure you guys follow me over on Instagram. Link's gonna be at the top of the description below, man. So yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.